up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Keith one-time Thurman. You better not duck me, son. Keith Thurman states that he doubts that Danny Garcia has the dog in him like he used to before. And he stated that due to his last performance, he doubts that Danny Garcia has the drive or the desire, the dog in him to fight under the elite. Now let me counterpunch. First, for Keith one-time Thurman. Keith one-time Thurman of now with the buzz cut, and he's always had the mouthpiece. He's always had that selling quality about himself. I think, first of all, he needs to show everybody that he belongs. He needs to show people that he still has the dog. He'll always be able to sell a fight. I don't care if he's 37, 38, 39, or whenever he decides to quit. He will always have that type of speaking quality and salesmanship to sell a fight, to sell himself. So I think actions need to speak for Keith Thurman himself, right? That's first off. But the initial comment that he made about Danny Garcia, I have to agree with him. Why? Because Danny Garcia, and with a twist, because Danny Garcia is a guy that he's a prodigy and he's the result of Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a particular character that he pays his fighters well for less risk. Okay, since it's less risk, he doesn't really, he's not really concerned with putting them in there with stiff competition, right? So he's got an easy seat. In fact, at one point, Danny Garcia was regarded as the cherry picker back in the day, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. You know, he was at 140 and he did had a lot of fights that nobody knew who the hell they were. Or, you know, the fights that people wanted to see, like him versus Postol or guys like that when he was at 140, or Terrence Crawford. You know, he didn't fight those guys. Okay, those guys were misses. So, in other words, they were ducks in a lot of people's eyes. But when he did step up, though, here's the twist. Even when Danny did step up, he was a shy away from that elite anyway. So the question is really Danny Garcia an elite fighter? Because he hasn't shown you anything at 147 to show you that he is. He showed you that he's a good contender when it came to other champions in the same weight class. But when everything came down to it, he was a guy just good enough to be a challenger. You look at the Keith Thurman fight, you look at the Sean Porter fight, you look at the Errol Spence fight. It just shows you that he's one of those guys that are under those guys. You know, and eventually you can't duck forever. So when you start losing, understand Al Heyman is the type of promoter slash advisor slash manager slash whatever he is, that when you start losing, he's going to lose his grip on you. The competition is going to be less filtered. Okay, he's going to start giving you people that, hey, you should have been fighting to show you that you were good in the first place. You know what I mean? So he does things kind of backwards when it deals with his fighters. But Danny Garcia is a tough guy. He can hit hard, but I think he does lack the desire, because if you look at the Errol Spence fight, for example, Errol Spence was doing what he was doing the whole fight. Danny Garcia started to turn it on maybe the last couple rounds. He should have been doing that from round 1. If he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out, but he's a tough kid. He didn't get dropped. He ain't got dropped to this day. So he should have just went for the gusto. And it just shows you that he did do the bare minimum in that fight to show everybody, like, yo, do you even really still want this or not? You know what I'm saying? Do you even want to win this fight? He fought that fight really to show that, hey, let me earn a check. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, Danny Garcia, it's not like he didn't try. He just didn't try like he's supposed to. So that's that dog that Keith Thurman was talking about that he feels that he's missing. And I feel that Danny Garcia could have done more in that fight. Therefore, I agree with Keith Thurman. Good counterpunch from him. You guys tell me what you think about Terrence Crawford calling out Danny Garcia's dogness. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.